Let's talk about a feeling that's, well, it's almost the defining feature for a whole generation. It's that constant nagging sense that you're just not getting it right with money, even when you're doing everything you were told you were supposed to do.
I mean, it's a really frustrating question, isn't it? You did the thing. You went to school, you got a job, you're working hard. But instead of that feeling of security, money just feels like this constant source of stress. You've got an income, sure, but saving feels impossible. And you look around, and it feels like everyone else is moving forward while you're just treading water? So, if any of that sounds familiar, I want you to really hear this. You are so far from being alone. This feeling, this financial burnout, it isn't a you problem. It's a shared reality for millions of us trying to figure this all out. So where do we even start to get some answers? Well, for this explainer, we're diving deep into the work of author Erin Lowry. She takes this whole paradox on, not from some high and mighty expert position, but as someone who's been right there in the thick of it, dealing with debt, avoiding looking at bank statements, and asking this one huge, overwhelming question.
And that is the question at the absolute heart of all of this. It just echoes for so many people. It's that feeling that the rule book we were handed for life, it just doesn't seem to work anymore. So what is really going on here?
To figure this out, we've got to reframe the whole problem. The first real step to feeling better about your money is understanding the game you're actually playing. And spoiler alert, it is a very different game than the one our parents played.
And here it is. This might be the most important message we talk about today. Your financial struggles are not because you're lazy or bad with money or you're not trying hard enough. This isn't a personal failure. It's a systemic one.
I mean, just look at how much the rules have changed. The old expectation was, yeah, education is affordable. But the reality for us? A massive student debt crisis. A stable job market with a pension? That's become a gig economy full of instability. And affordable housing? Yeah, right. That's been replaced by absolutely soaring home prices that make ownership feel like a fantasy. The goalposts haven't just moved, they're on a completely different field.
And just understanding this context, wow, it's so liberating because it lets you stop blaming yourself. When you realize that this burnout is systemic and not just personal, that's the moment you can actually start to heal your relationship with money.
Okay, now let's get into another huge source of pressure, and it's one that previous generations, they really didn't face in the same way. We're talking about that constant, endless, soul-crushing cycle of comparison.
Come on, you know the drill. You open up Instagram or TikTok, and what do you see? It's just a highlight reel of everyone else's financial wins. Friends buying their first home, influencers on these incredible vacations, people bragging about their investment returns. And in that context, your own struggles, they feel so private and so isolating. It creates this powerful illusion that you're the only one who's falling behind.
Which brings us to this really crucial reminder. It's called personal finance for a reason. Because it's personal. There's no universal timeline for when you're supposed to buy a house or get out of debt. The moment you stop measuring your life with someone else's ruler is the moment all that financial pressure starts to lose its grip on you. Okay, so we've talked about the why, the systemic stuff, the comparison trap. Now let's get into the how. How do we actually start to move forward in a way that feels good? It all starts with one thing, facing the numbers.
Let me ask you, does this feel familiar? That little knot in your stomach when you even think about opening your banking app or looking at your credit card statement? That feeling is incredibly common, and it's a huge part of a pattern that keeps us feeling stuck.
Erin Lowry actually calls this the avoidance spiral. It starts with that fear, right? The anxiety about what you're going to find. And that fear leads to avoidance, so you just don't look. But here's the problem. Flying blind only makes the anxiety worse, and the cycle just keeps repeating, getting stronger every single time.
So how do you break the cycle? Well, the solution isn't some crazy complicated spreadsheet or vowing to never buy coffee again. It's one simple, really brave act. Just look. Just face the numbers, because once you see the reality, money stops being this vague, terrifying monster in the closet and becomes a problem you can actually start to solve.
Now, when we talk about looking at the numbers, I know what a lot of us immediately think of. It's the dreaded B word, budget. And we usually see it like this, like a financial straitjacket, just a list of rules designed to make us feel guilty for every single dollar we spend.
But let's reframe that completely. What if we saw a budget as a map? It's not a cage, it's a tool for navigation. It's this flexible guide that helps you point your money, your resources, toward the things and the experiences that you actually, truly value in life.
And this is the key. This is the big takeaway on budgeting. A good budget isn't about restriction. It's all about intention. It gives you the power to make conscious choices so your money finally starts working for you and the life you want, instead of you feeling like it controls your every move.
So all of this, understanding the new reality, escaping the comparison game, reframing the budget, it all leads us to rethink the ultimate goal. Like, what are we even aiming for with all this?
And a huge part of this is how we think about debt. Student loans, credit cards, man, it can come with so much shame. But it is so critical to separate your debt from your self-worth. It is not a sign that you're a bad person. It's a circumstance, often the result of just trying to get by in a really tough system.
This quote right here, it just completely redefines the finish line for me. We're sold this idea that financial freedom means being rich, having a yacht. But what if the real goal is something more humane, something more achievable? What if it's simply about being less afraid?
And what does that actually look like in real life? It means not having a full-blown panic attack when your car breaks down. It means having enough of a cushion that you have the option to leave a job that's crushing your soul. It's the power to make life choices based on your values, not just what your bank ballot says you can do. Now that is a powerful and totally attainable form of freedom. And it is so important to remember, nobody just wakes up one day and is magically good with money. Financial maturity isn't some destination you arrive at. It's a process. It's a continuous journey made up of thousands of little, conscious decisions that you make and learn from along the way.
So the goal isn't some massive overhaul overnight. It's about taking one small, gentle step. It's about being kinder to yourself in this process. So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. What's one small thing you can do just this week to start building a kinder relationship with your money and move toward being just a little less afraid?